Hi, I'm Joe Connolly with Neil A. Caruso for Dime Community Bank. They believe in smaller businesses. And so does our guest, because Liddy Carter, founder and managing partner of Mizzen Capital, invests in fast growing smaller businesses, many in the New York area. So she really knows what's going on at smaller businesses. Liddy, how are they doing?
Thanks so much for asking, Joe. I mean, people talk a lot about the economy, but when it comes down to it, small businesses drive the economy, and it's hard to see them sometimes because they're small. I'll give you an example of the kind of business that we love. It's a company in Shelton, Connecticut, started about 6 years ago in the energy efficiency space around businesses that were high energy users. Think quick service restaurants, think manufacturing plants, office buildings. Think about a quick service restaurant that has a fryer and an oven and a freezer and air conditioning and lights and opening doors, all these conflicting energy usage problems. What Butterfly does is they go in on their own dime, they fix all those conflicts, optimize the energy usage, and give the owner of the franchise or the building some of the savings back. They pay for the capital with some of the savings, and then they keep some of the savings. And that balance has driven their growth over 3,000% in 2021 and something similar in 2022. They were the 10th fastest growing company in the Inc. 5000 in
Butterfly.
2021. Budderfly. I've almost forgotten how to spell butter the right way.
And they help businesses cut their energy costs and help the environment and everybody else.
Everybody benefits, and they've grown enormously. So that's an example of a company doing something that we like, which is taking advantage of inefficiencies.
Tell
And
us another one that's growing, if you would, Liddy.
well, in a similar vein, a company called Posigen puts solar and energy efficiency on houses. So a different market, similar structure where they go in, they'll put all the money in required in 1 to 4 family houses. And Posigen is different from most solar developers for residential because they don't require a credit score. So this enables people who own 1 to 4 family houses in maybe low and moderate income areas to get that same energy efficiency and those same savings on solar that people in higher income areas have traditionally enjoyed. So that's going, I don't know, enormous growth. Another company we love is Bracone Manufacturing, metal spinning in Southington, Connecticut. They're benefiting from the great reshoring that we're seeing happening in manufacturing and the joys of 3D printing. And I call it joys because I'm so thrilled. People have been talking about 3D printing and how that's going to transform manufacturing. And again, what 3D printing really does is it takes out the waste from most manufacturing processes. It really reduces the waste. So again, that theme of efficiency, that's what we're looking for. And also have to have businesses. We're not going to be investing in things that are luxury goods or optional, but we do love these businesses that create efficiencies and also will grow.
You
Another,
are really down in the trenches, in the details of what really will
we are.
drive this future economy. Neil?
Liddy, nice to chat with you. So you mentioned a lot of energy efficiency companies. I'm wondering, because we're in such a tight labor market right now and seeing some layoffs, if I'm going out on my own right now, where should I be looking to start a small business?
Yeah, so I would focus on any place where you see needs that are unmet in a practical way, where it's a necessity. I wouldn't do a restaurant right now, but I would, or probably not a new physician's office. They're struggling because of cutbacks with CMS. But I think that reshoring theme is a big one. We have another company that's doing closets that used to all be made in China. Another type of business that we really like is hospitality. We're doing a number of staffing agencies. So in contrast to your point about job losses, staffing agencies for healthcare, which again are more efficient than hiring directly, or hospitality. One of our companies, it's a minority owned business started by three guys who used to work in the hotel maintenance field. They've grown it to almost 200 million in revenues, and they're growing every day because it's more efficient for the big hotel chains to outsource the staffing. I think that's a really strong and easily accessed market.
That's interesting. So, for someone that is just starting out, it may be difficult to get access to capital. What advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I think that's right. It's always a challenge. We have a chip manufacturer right now who's struggling to get capital because it's a very capital intensive business. But he's seeing the benefit again of the reshoring, and also the new CHIPS Act. I think what you need to do when in that market is join forces with groups that have the capital. So whether that's a strategic partner, go in, pitch yourself, or even a private equity firm that will hire people with a lot of talent and a lot of drive and an idea to pursue those things. We call them, in some cases, we call them independent sponsors. And there are a lot of young people who are building their businesses on other people's money, sharing the ownership, but it's a good way to get started.
Liddy, what are one or two of the markers of a smaller business that's growing that you think is going to become really successful? What do you look for?
Well, Joe, you know me a long time. The thing I look for most is people. Absolutely looking for that drive, for the excruciating level of honesty that those people are willing to subject themselves to and share with us. We want people who are really straightforward, because that's the only way you can analyze the opportunities that you see. And then above and beyond that, we look for that something, a driver, an opening in the market where there aren't a lot of existing people.
And just give us one more example, if one comes to mind, if you would, of an opening in the market. You look for businesses meeting an opening in the market. Where do you see, where do people see openings? Do they just hit them, or do they research them?
Yeah, I'm going to give you one that you're not going to expect. It's a hotel. This is a basic industry, right? But there's a woman who has developed a 10 hotel chain across the country, Michelle Barnett, and she found the opening in finding used old hotels that were a wreck. She goes in and fixes them up in the most charming, very sort of esoteric style. She allows dogs to come in. She creates the most personalized customer experience you can imagine. She allows you to just borrow bicycles, which I love. She has a hotel here at 36th Street between, I think, 8th and 9th in Manhattan that she bought for very little money just before COVID. Almost lost it in COVID. We came in and supported her because she was staying open for the frontline workers. And now I called the other day for a reservation for a friend, and she was fully booked. She's doing really well, and it's great.
It is great. It's great to hear about what you're doing. Thank you for your support of small, growing businesses. Liddy Carter of Mizzen Capital. Thank
Joe,
you.
thanks, Neil. Bye-bye.